To install the full metal fenders on your bike, you'll need a pliers, a pencil, and hex wrenches in sizes 2, 3, 4, and 5 millimeter. Apply the cross-shaped anti-rattle stickers to the front and rear fenders. Make sure the fender surface is clean before applying them. Attach the fender stays to the front and rear fenders using the stay brackets and 3 millimeter hex bolts with rounded heads. Make sure the fender stays are perpendicular to the fenders before tightening. Remove the brakes and wheels from your bike. Reinstall the front brake with the front fender bracket between the brake and the fork. Do not fully tighten the brake yet. If your bike does not have threaded eyelets to bolt the fender stays to, remove the wheel skewer and install an eyelet on each side of the wheel. Reinstall the wheel with the eyelets as close to the 9 o'clock position as possible on the drive side of the bike and 3 o'clock position on the non-drive side. With a 2 millimeter hex wrench, loosen the 2 millimeter bolts on the safety tabs so they can slide freely up and down on the stays. With a 4 millimeter hex wrench, attach the safety tabs to the eyelets with the 4 millimeter bolts and washers. You may want to hold onto the safety tabs to prevent them from rotating. Make sure the bolts are tight, but there's no need to crank them down with all of your strength. Position the fender so it is centered in a safe distance away from the tire. The more clearance the fender has, the less likely for debris to get caught between the tire and the fender and cause rubbing. Center the brake on the wheel and position the fender as far away as possible from the tire. Tighten the brake bolt. Spin the wheel to check for rubbing and adjust the fender as necessary. Double check that all the hardware is tight and solid. Now we can move on to the rear fender. Attach the rear brake with the Z-bracket between the brake and the bike frame. Don't fully tighten the brake yet. Attach the plastic bracket to the seat tube just above the front derailleur with the O-ring that fits best. Use a pencil to mark where the Z-bracket hits the rear fender. Attach the rectangular anti-rattle sticker to this area. Crimp the Z-bracket tabs under the rear fender with the pliers. Make sure all 4 tabs are crimped flat against the underside of the fender. Now simply do all of the things you did to attach the front fender, remembering again to double check that all the hardware is snug. Now you're ready to roll through some puddles.